Well, welcome back to another week of Love Dogs. Each week we get to feature a very special organization or special person who's making a difference in the lives of dogs and animals. And today we're super fortunate to be with Mary Spencer.
Yes, we are very fortunate, and I'm going to read my card here because she is involved in so many different organizations. I'm sure I'm going to miss something. She literally is such a focal point of the Dallas dog community. She's involved with SPCA. She's involved with the Dallas Animal Shelter Commission, the Dallas Animal Companion, I'm sorry, it's the Dallas Companion Animal Project. She's got her own website at Petopia for Paws, and she's written a book, and I've got it right here. Check it out. And it is called All My Fosters Are Rock Stars. And I'm sure that I still left something out because truly she's so busy. Thank you so much for making time to come on the show, Mary.
Did you know that she had a dog named Bon Jovi?
I did. No, I didn't. But I'm sure she might now and after that. So where did your love of dogs come from?
I guess from when I was a very small child. We've always had pets. Growing up, I was raised with them. I think I had more pets, hamsters, guinea pigs, cats, dogs. I fed them during school, after school. I thought about being a veterinarian. I didn't quite have the stomach for it. It progressed, and about 20 years ago, I became involved with the SPCA. I was asked to be on their board of directors. I was chairman of the board for 6-7 years. And then 3 years ago, I became involved with the Dallas Animal Shelter Commission. Mayor Leppert at that time asked me to be his representative, and it just opened my eyes to an incredibly different world. And I just felt like it was my mission, and I've never been happier. Rescuing, saving lives, helping them. And like you said, Arthur, just the four-legged ones are often so much more appreciative.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, and you know what's so nice is it's right away that you get to see in their eyes, you know, that they realize what you're doing, and you know, even just the simplest things.
They get it.
They do. They absolutely get it. So tell us about the Dallas Companion Animal Project.
Well, that's an exciting project. It's recently been launched. This is Dallas's No Kill Any Adoptable Animal project. And what we're doing, last summer, after having been involved with the Animal Shelter Commission and seeing just how many animals Dallas, Texas was still euthanizing every year, I would leave my meetings thinking, it just should not be happening. So I wish I could say this idea was hatched over 6 martinis and at a great resort, but it was over lunch with Rebecca Poling over a salad. And we thought, Dallas needs to get on board, like New York City, Richmond, a lot of the other cities in the United States, and stop killing so many adoptable animals. So we talked to the city. They loved the idea. The city personally got involved and chose, with the help of the council and the mayor, 14 task force members. Each of these members, and I think that's very key, because each of these members brings something to the table. Expertise in animal welfare, rescue, a veterinarian, rescue groups. Everybody brings something to the table. And so we all collectively got together, worked out a plan, worked out what resources Dallas already has, and we came up with the components, and so now we're moving forward. And we need help from the community. I think the thing to stress is this is not a plan for the city shelter. This has to be a plan for the city, for everybody here, for the community to take ownership.
And just if you can, in a little more detail, what exactly will it do?
We are right now, last year, the Dallas City Shelter took over almost 29,000 animals. Now that's cats and dogs, puppies and kittens, into the shelter. Owner surrender, strays, that was what they received. They were only able to adopt out and get out of that shelter, which we call a live release rate, a little over 6,000. So the stats are not good. And we felt like over the course of 5 years, 6 years, we're setting goals that if Dallas can become a city which can have a live release rate of 90%, meaning that is the number of animals that leave that facility alive and go into homes, then we'd love it to be 95. But the thing that people don't realize with Dallas is, like any large municipal shelter, and Dallas has a new city shelter. It's only 4 years old, it's new, it's nice. It holds 800 animals. Every day, Dallas receives over 80 animals a day. And you picture that, carloads bringing 80 animals. So where do they go? What do you do with them? So we're trying every way possible to get them out, to stop the flow from coming in, and spay, neuter, education. So that's why it's a lot of components, and that's why it can't happen overnight.
Sure, sure.
So it takes a village.
Did I hear that Maddie's Fund was involved in this?
Yes. Maddie's Fund is involved with some grants for the Big Fix for Big D, which is incorporating, and we're working with, which is a spay-neuter program that Maddie's is helping to fund, and also some of the other foundations here, but they're also helping with some of our programs. And they work closely with the SPCA too, and some of the other groups. So we're partnering with the rescue groups, the SPCA of Texas, the Operation Kindness, to collectively work together to make the plan work.
That's nice. I mean, that's really nice. And I mean, anytime I think that you are dealing with any type of municipality,
Exactly.
it's always going to
Exactly.
take
The Dallas
so much
shelter
effort.
has no choice about it. If you show up with an animal,
Yes,
they have to take it. And that animal can be sick, that animal can be healthy, that animal
exactly.
can be hurt. They're stuck with it, just like every other municipal shelter in the country. But it is possible. We were talking on the last show about my work in Salt Lake City with the county shelter, and 60% down to less than 5% in a period of 2.5 years. So
those are goals we need to strive for.
Yeah.
It can be done, and that's why I got so involved in Dallas when I moved here, because it can be done here. It's just getting all the groups to work together and not see this as scarcity, but an abundance mentality.
Exactly.
Well, Arthur, you need to hop in there. Help make that happen.
Well, I am.
And it
I
is
know you
happening.
are.
The groups they're playing such a huge role into getting those animals out that are adoptable. Whether they're totally out of time, or whether they have an issue that needs to be worked with, or whatever, they are pulling animals and helping so much.
Well, good, because that's, the mission of American Dog Rescue.
Right.
Which is a foundation that he started. But so tell us, what can we do? What can people do in general to help and support you and get involved?
I think the awareness first.
Okay.
And also, a lot of people don't realize that shelter pets can be purebred, if that's important. They can be the sweetest little mixed breed. They can be anything. And a lot of people don't want to come to a shelter because they feel bad if they don't adopt something. They feel bad if they only take one. But if everybody would take only one or two, it could help alleviate the problem so much and get over the stigma that shelter animals, there's something wrong with them. And we're working on a large media that one of our commission members actually created about shelter pets. And there are some billboards that are going up in Dallas. There's a video clip that's being played. I think you all have it. And it shows some of the most incredible shelter pets. And so they're awesome. They're awesome pets.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice. I mean, that's the first place that someone should go to look for
absolutely.
an animal. Is it either a rescue or a shelter? Look at that. So sweet.
Yeah, they were all shelter pets, all shelter adoptees, and it's just the awareness. An example, and I will show you an example. I brought two pictures. One is a puppy. I don't know if you can tell too much. She's a little mixed breed, probably has a little bit of a pit in her, little
Sweetie.
spaniel, little. She had been at the shelter for 6 weeks. With 800 animals to look at, she kept getting overlooked.
Yeah, hold her up again. so
She was
people can see.
pulled out of the shelter I fostered her. Foster's so important. And DFW Rescue Me, I fostered through them. She went to one off-site adoption and she was adopted to a great home.
Nice.
And she had sat there for 6 weeks.
Aww.
This one is, and it's hard to tell from these pictures because she was just received at the city. She is a purebred standard poodle.
Oh, wow.
Chocolate. When this dog gets groomed, she was matted so bad. Huge mats. Just terrible. Sweetest dog ever. It's a he, I'm sorry. Had not been neutered. He'd been wandering around with a rope around his neck that was so tight it had to be cut off. I mean, these are the kind of animals.
Well, I have another dog that's an 80-pound boxer named Texas. And Texas relocated to Utah, but Texas was 40 minutes from being put down because he has separation anxiety. And he ate a bath towel. And large, expensive operation. Nobody would pay for it. And vet called me. We did the operation. And I went down to see him the next day, like I try to get to all the dogs we help. And he was so unbelievably trained. I mean, this dog, day after the operation, went for a walk with me, sat, took a treat. I didn't even ask him to do it. Has been, the only thing is, he needs to be with another dog or with a person. So he's got 2 other boxers now, so I've got.
So
3
he's
boxers.
happy.
He's happy.
40 minutes.
Yes, 40 minutes from being
it's
put down.
just
and he is the perfectly. Somebody spent a year, 1-year-old dog, training that dog where it's as well trained as Sleepyhead over here, and I didn't do a thing. I mean, he's trained to 20 or 25 commands, and he does anything, goes anywhere. He's been to county council meetings. He's traveled.
He just needs a friend.
He just needs a
Just
friend.
like
And there's so many
everybody.
dogs like that, and you have to go and look carefully to find the right dog, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this one, this great
Yeah, who's
wild
with
rim
us
bunches.
today? We didn't even introduce
Hattie.
you.
Hattie came from a city shelter. She was going to be put down the next day because she had been wandering the streets and had been hit by a car and she had a dislocated hip. So this
Hattie.
puppy dog, who loves, she scratches her stomach. She also has allergies. Hattie, get up. She loves soft pillows. She sat in the city shelter because she was microchipped, but her owners moved and left her. And so she wandered the streets, got hit by a car, and I went and got her. She had surgery. She's an incredible little prima donna princess. And she said, Mom, we're going to be on TV today.
Well behaved.
Yes, very well behaved.
Some days.
Very well
She's
behaved.
adorable, though. She is just, she has her summer due. She went
How
to
old
the
is
spa.
she?
She's 5. She was 2 when I got her. I've had her 3 years.
Sit down.
She has a sister, a 13-year-old black lab that came from Dallas Animal Services who was heartworm positive, and she was about to be put down. So they're amazing dogs. My last dog was a standard poodle that I got as a stray from the SPCA. They're everywhere.
Now, yeah, tell us about your involvement with the SPCA and also the Dallas Animal Shelter Commission.
The SPCA partners with the Dallas Animal Services and the shelter. We're very, very close. We're only half a mile apart. So they pull animals from the city, and the SPCA just finished their brand new state-of-the-art facility. It is gorgeous. Kitten condos, cat condos. So they've done a lot with educating the public about cruelty cases, puppy mills. So they play a very, very, very active, integral role with Dallas Animal Services and the other groups.
So how do you know if you're looking to adopt a dog or you're looking for the right dog, whether to go to the SPCA down the block or go to Dallas Animal Services? How do you make
We
that?
think it's a little like, McDonald's or Burger King. The synergy between the two facilities is awesome. And people at the SPCA will say, check down the road, and vice versa. And so it just depends. So it's been a great location, I think, for both facilities.
So I think that one of the things I find best to tell people, because it is hard to go into a shelter and see all of those dogs and to know that, some of them won't be there. That's the truth.
Right.
But you know the starfish story?
Yes.
You know the
Yes.
starfish story? An old man walking down the beach with his grandson, and the old man is tossing
love it.
starfish into the ocean. And the young man looks at him, his grandson, and says, Grandpa, You've been doing that your whole life. You can't make a difference. Look at all the starfish on the beach. And he holds up the starfish and he says, tell it to this one. And that's what you have to remember. You're taking
Just one.
just one. The one you
won't
take home
change
is
the world by saving one, but you change the world for that one.
That's right.
And it's so, and if everybody would think that, if people would do that, if they would spay, neuter their pets, if they would be responsible pet owners, if they would go adopt, if they don't want to go to the shelter, there are off-site adoption centers all over town. And we are working, one of the things that the Dallas Companion Animal Project is doing, we're working with a lot of lower income families and pet owners who love their pets just as much as we do. And we are providing free food, free medical services, free spay neuters. We're picking up their animals, we're taking them back. We're doing education, we're doing whatever to keep that pet in a loving, good home.
And you know, in keeping with that, one of the hardest things for especially lower income families and especially families of Hispanic heritage to come to terms with is neutering a male dog.
Yes.
Bandit is a neutered male dog. He's 7 months old. He was neutered about a month ago. And he is so much calmer and so much of a better member of the home. And
Much
we would have
calmer.
never, he had a hip problem when he was born, couldn't walk. We would have never mated him because even though he's a purebred, he would have had problems with the puppies. But if you're not going to mate your dog for the purposes of continuing a breed, there are literally tens of thousands of dogs that can be adopted. So the
That
best thing
roaming
you can
thing.
do for your dog and for your family is to spay or neuter.
Well, and I understand that you actually won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the
I did.
SPCA.
It was a big honor. I just, and I've rescued and fostered, and that was one of the things that I mentioned in my book. It's something everybody can do is foster. Most people. Some people fail fosterhood like I did and kept this one. And my
How
other
many
three.
fosters have you had?
But I have fostered over 500 over the last 7-8 years.
Wow.
And rescue some of the most horrible cases you could imagine. And I've told about them in the book. They're little short segments. I don't sell the book. I give it away, and any donations go to an animal charity. And it's just a fun little chicken soup for the soul.
That's wonderful.
And I write for a paper, the White Rock Lake Weekly, and this one actually had a picture of Cupcake because it talked about ways that the public can help, how you can help with the Dallas Companion Animal Project, how everybody can get involved. There is something that everybody can do.
Speaking of foster, people are afraid to foster because you fall in love.
I know.
And then you have to give it up. Well, you don't have to give it up.
You don't have to give it up.
But if you want to, you perform this great transition to a healthy dog to a wonderful forever
And I tell
home.
people, if you'll just foster, and even if you do keep it, that's fine. And if you don't quite bond or it's not, you save that animal's life and it goes to a loving family and you get another one. It's a great way to kind of test out and see which pet works best for your family.
So if people want to foster or people want to adopt, where should they go? Where on
What
the web?
website can
What
they
website
find
can they find?
you on?
Go to the Dallas Animal Services website. You can go to the city of Dallas. You can look under the city shelter. It has a picture of every animal there. You can go to the shelter. You can go to petfinders.com. You can go to the SPCA of Texas, which is, as we said, close to the city shelter. You can go to pretty much any PetSmart or any offsite adoption centers everywhere, or you can get online, or you can call me, email me. And
as we say, adopt, don't buy.
Absolutely. Even if you don't think you're supporting a puppy mill,
you're supporting more dogs being put into the process.
You're causing one more dog to have to go down that hallway.
And you can get a purebred from
It's true. Okay, so you can find Mary, visit her website. You can see it at pettopiaforpaws.com. That's pettopiaforpaws.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Love of Dogs. We come across so many stories that are just so heart-wrenching and touching. This one we're about to see comes to us from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes, ABC did a news story about Tanner, who's a 2-year-old golden retriever, and he was homeless after his owner passed away, which, I mean, clearly happens. And here's an incredible story about a dog healing another dog.
The power of dogs.
From the looks of things, as Tanner ambles about the yard, he's just a typical golden retriever. Except from his viewpoint, this is how things look.
One of the things you will notice is he does have the cataracts in both eyes.
Blind since birth, with a slight seizure problem, the first year of his life wasn't bad at all, until his owner died, and he had no one.
You know, things got different in his world, and that stress led to his seizure disorder getting worse, it seemed, and, you know, being blind and panicky. And
still very much a puppy, big puppy.
Pam from the Golden Retriever Rescue Group stepped in, got him placed in a home with a woman named Jill. But,
well, she can tell you the situation.
Let's talk about the issues.
It's not just that he has seizures, it's what happens during the seizures.
He can actually lose a little bit of control, and so there can be just a little bit of a mess.
A little bit of a mess is putting it nicely.
Yes, he would defecate, urinate, seize in it, you know. Yeah, it was bad. There's no question about it. It was a mess to come to some mornings.
He wound up back at the clinic, seizing nearly every night, pacing nervously in his pen, his future as dark as his eyesight.
I can tell you it was more than one time I've recommended putting Tanner to sleep.
Which is where this tale of tragedy ends.
I mean, it's definitely a great story. All my friends that I've told about it are definitely intrigued by it and definitely want to know more.
As a new tale enters the picture.
Just your everyday street dog.
Blair has her own issues. She was shot, and now she's timid, nervous, needs work. By chance, one day she wound up out in the yard with Tanner, and it happened.
Just haven't seen anything like this ever.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end.
A friendship was forged that took the command HEAL and spelled it H-E-A-L.
Since having Blair as a companion, he hasn't had any seizures.
And Blair?
She's pretty friendly versus what she used to be, so.
The two of them together have been a remarkable synergistic effect.
This is gonna sound weird. Do you think Blair knows Tanner is blind?
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a doubt.
Especially when you watch Blair lead Tanner around by a leash.
She's a service dog for another dog.
Always under her watchful eye, or snout, as the case may be. The ending to this story? The hope that someone will come along and help keep this union going strong by adopting them both. For let no man put asunder what two dogs have put together.
They're pretty much inseparable at this point.
I think Blair's jealous at the moment that Tanner...
They have to be together, there's no question about it.
Yeah, he's my best friend.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
I don't know if you feel like I do, but that was just amazing.
I know. I think that was actually a trick so that we could be all weepy-eyed when we came back.
And I told you I had 3 boxers. Well, one of those boxers leads the other 2 with a leash like that. And it's amazing, though, to see a dog know that the other dog's blind and needs it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then they're helping each other. Now he's not having his seizures anymore at night. I mean, that separation anxiety.
Well,
It had
it's
to be.
no different than what a service dog does for a human being. It's just a service dog doing it for another dog.
For another dog.
When my wife passed on, little Buddy was a seizure prediction dog. He began to predict Holly's seizures when we got Holly. 2 little teacup poodles, and he took care of her until he died. So just amazing, and stopped her seizures. So this is great. Oh, thanks to ABC News for.
Oh, yes. Huge thanks for finding that story. That was just incredible. And, you know, you see things like that. You know, you see dogs saving other dogs, you know, and pulling them to safety and, you know, all of that stuff. And it's just so heartwarming and I think so important to help these animals. And what we talked about a lot today with Mary was, you know, how go to a shelter, adopt a dog. There's nothing wrong with those dogs. They just need a good home.
Every one you save will save you.
Yeah, it's really true. I truly believe that. And, you know, like she said, you can get really any kind of dog. If you want to, you know, thoroughbred, and rescue sites also, you know. I mean, rescue dogs, which I know is a huge, important subject for you as you've got American Dog Rescue, clearly.
Well, you know, on the American Dog Rescue site, we have a number of other organizations like Paws to Help, Paws for Vets, Nowzad Dog Rescue, the rescuing organization in Afghanistan, and people can not only donate to American Dog Rescue, but can use American Dog Rescue to donate to those organizations, and then we help as well.
Yeah, you can always go to AmericanDogRescue.org and see the different people that have been on the show and the different organizations. We'll have them listed there. And you can also find out what's coming on our upcoming shows of For the Love of Dogs. And, you know, we tell you, follow us on Twitter and follow us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube. And you know what? Go to some of those other websites, those rescue organizations, and follow them too.
But more than following us, follow your heart. Go down to a shelter or to a rescue organization. Contribute what you can financially or with your time. Make a difference for an animal. And you'll find that it makes a difference in your life. I certainly have found that.
Oh, no, absolutely. And we were talking about how you can see that gratitude. It's right away. You know, they need it and they appreciate it. And they deserve it. They deserve a good home.
Every animal deserves someone to love. And
spay and neuter your pets. And we will see you next week on For the Love of Dogs.